All right.
Feasel, I'm using VLC and Live Streamer, so I can sync up with the restream. Okay. All right, thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. All right.
All right, so you can go ahead.
All right. Starting off this race, the runners are going through series, which is the beginning of every single Super Metroid category, pretty much, except for one that I could think of. And it's just the basic movement and luck and seeing how fast you can go.
Yeah, the only category that doesn't do series is Spore Spawn RTA, and I guess Crocomire RTA, but I don't count that one. So both runners safely made it off series with some decent times. Now they're just gonna watch this cutscene and then they'll head off to ZB's. So any percent starts off like most other runs. You just, get the standard items: morph ball, missiles, bombs. Then you head over and you get early super missiles, and then they're gonna hop into Pink Brimstone and get charge beam and a couple other missile packs. And then sometimes you'll see things start to change a little bit for some runners. From that point, they can kind of decide if they're going to go new route or old route. And the difference there is it's just a boss order change, and the new route is faster, which is why it's the newer route, and the old route is slower. But the new route is a lot harder, and so it's very easy to die in new route. So that's why you see a lot of people still do old routes, because it's a lot safer, and there's a lot less chance of death.
I believe we'll see an old route versus an old route race today, though.
Yeah, I think Leo is very persistent in not doing new route.
So today,
Although, Leo does have a really good time though, so he should be able to do new route. I think he actually did do a little bit of new route in the past. I remember yesterday during practice he kept accidentally doing new route strats and stuff, and it was kind of funny.
So as you see, both runners are getting the morph ball now and heading down to get missiles so they could enter to get bomb chorizo. And then off to get early supers.
Yep, and a couple things to note here that you might have seen them do. The first little trick that they did was a down back. You saw that in the parlor room, which is the room before the fall. That's basically a technique where you, while in the air, you aim down and you press the direction backwards to where Samus is facing, and that'll kind of shift Samus forward while still in that downward facing animation. It's kind of weird. It's a weird looking mechanic, but it's very useful for navigating around platforms. And the other thing you'll see is Mach Ball. And the first Mach Ball was the one exiting Missile Room to get under that tunnel. And Mach Balling is a exploit that allows you to keep your running speed while in Morph Ball form. So you can travel past some rooms a little faster, and it also allows you to get early super missiles, which is what you're going to see here in a minute.
Right. As you see, Leodox did before very well. Both players are going up through the climb, which can either go incredibly well or incredibly poorly, depending on the run. And as you see, 0x is going up a different route versus the wall jump strat, which is primarily used. He's going up a more similar route to Behemoth, which is jumping up other platforms rather than doing the wall jumps off the right wall.
Yeah, Leo had a really nice climb. Props to him on that. And it seems like Ox's strat is kind of just sort of like the kind of strat you would see from someone who doesn't really speedrun it. Kind of something like with someone who's just familiar with the game and doesn't really have a strategy. He's kind of just going up the platforms and shooting the pirates, which, I don't discredit him or anything for that. It's, whatever works for you, you do it. And he did a nice job with that, so props to him as well. Leo had a really nice bomb Chorizo fight. The strategy for that fight is to just shoot him with 5 shots and then 7 missiles. But after the first 4 missiles, there's like a small cutscene where the bomb Chorizo freezes and his stomach explodes. And then from there, you just shoot him with 3 more missiles and he's dead. But one thing to note about that is he also has an animation that you might see Ox getting into where his face explodes. And that's about like maybe half a second to a second. And so you want to try and skip that animation by killing him in one shot so that he doesn't do that animation. Alright, Ox also had a really nice BT fight. And Leo is making his way into Green Brinstar to head for the early super missiles.
Yeah, early supers is the first primarily used area where the mock ball is used, which is used to scoot over the crumble blocks, as you'll see right now, under the gates, and then up to supers. This skips the sports bun fight, which is the intended route to get super missiles, saving a good chunk of time.
Yeah, the mock ball in the early supers can be a little bit tricky for new players, but there's actually a really nice method to kind of normalize it, where you just jump through and you hold A the whole time, and then you press down after you start to lower, and it actually becomes really easy if you know that strategy, and I see a lot of people do it that way. But technically it is a little bit faster to do what we call a short hop mock ball, where you don't jump to your full height, but that's a almost negligible amount of time. Oh, so it looks like Ox jumped a little bit too high, or a little bit too early in that door. He actually bonked on the ceiling. But the nice thing about this trick is it's really easy to go and retry. All you gotta do is enter the door again and go back through.
Yeah, Ox having a little trouble.
Yeah, the motion to do a mock ball is kind of fast. You kind of have to morph and then immediately start holding to the right or holding forward. So it can be a little tricky sometimes, and it gives a lot of runners trouble.
And as you see, Leodox went down the red tower, which is the first red room that you see. That is the major indication that he is going on the old route. The new route would go up and then get power bombs early and then head to wreck ship immediately. On the old route, it's in the intended boss order for the game, which is Kraid, Phantoon, Dragon, and Ridley. The new route is Phantoon, Ridley, Kraid, and then Dragon, if I have that correct.
Yeah, that was right.
Alright.
Leodox is heading to Kraid right now, and one thing a lot of people know about it's one of the more popular boss fights, the Kraid quick kill, and that abuses a stun lock for Kraid that allows you to fire super missiles into his mouth really quickly and basically annihilate him before he even finishes standing up. So we'll see Leo hopefully get that here. It's quite technical. but experienced runners should have no trouble with it. But you know, anything can happen. Once saw Zeus mess it up, like when he already had world record 90% and everything.
Oh no.
Oh.
What
Yeah,
you
I
saw
don't
Leo
know.
do. He failed the quicker strat, which is shoot 2 missiles into Kraid's mouth and then follow with 3 supers. The first 2 missiles are the crucial ones that stun lock him, and then the 3 supers that follow. He missed the second missile, and then he tried to follow up with a charge and then 4 super missiles, which would also stun lock him. But again, it's hard to follow up that, so sadly he failed, but he did have a good recovery.
So what happened there? I kind of missed it. Did he miss the missile and then he decided to go for the 4 super strat?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he almost had it too. That was close. He had a really nice recovery though. That was a good fight, even though he missed a quick kill.
Leo,
Looks like Leo isn't
just
getting
skipping.
Yeah, he's not getting the Kraid tank. So the Kraid tank is probably one of the more common safety tanks that you'll see. It's kind of right along the path. All you got to do is enter a door and then grab it real quick. Some people tend to not get it just because they think they can survive without it, and they don't want to waste I'm going to say like 15 seconds it takes to get it. But in races like this, people who want to do a quick safety thing, they tend to grab that E-tank real quick. It's really nice to give you a little bit of extra health for Phantom, one of the more dangerous bosses in Old Route. So you get a little bit extra health for him, and you can do some other cool strats like some extra shine sparks and damage boosts and stuff. So it's pretty nice in that regard.
So we see Ox going for the Kraid quick kill again. Let's hope he gets it.
And it looks like he's going to be doing the 4 super strat because he's really far forward. I don't think that's in the right spot to be able to do the missile one.
Oh.
Oh, dang.
That was close.
He's got enough ammo though to be able to finish off Kraid rather quickly. Just one more missile and he's dead. And there he goes.
Right. Good recovery from Ox there.
Yeah, that was also a really nice fight. The Kraid fight can actually be pretty troublesome if you mess up the quick kill and you're not really expecting it, because a lot of runners don't really know how to fight him, like the actual second phase of Kraid. So when that happens, they kind of just don't know what to do, and it is a pretty bullet hell kind of fight, so it can be difficult sometimes.
Leo climbing Bubble Mountain with relative ease. And on to the quickest item in the game. The Speedy Boots. We see Ox going for the Kraid tank, which is definitely a smart move in this race.
Hopefully we at least see Leo getting the Ridley tank so that he doesn't have to 3-tank Mother Brain, because one small mess up there and he's kind of screwed. So at least, hopefully he'll have at least one safety tank to make it through. So one thing to note here, as Leo picks up Wave Beam, generally this is the last item that players collect from from Norfair before heading over to Phantom. But some players may opt to get the Ice Beam earlier, if they have trouble with wall jumping and with doing red tower. So I think Ox gets ice. I'm not
Yeah,
positive about that, but I'm pretty sure he gets ice
I'm
early.
fairly sure. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll be able to see that and see some of the different strats that you would see with early ice. One of the bigger differences about getting early ice is the Fantoon fight. Getting early ice gives you a couple more options for killing Fantoon. Like I've seen some players, Ox hasn't gotten the Spazer, so I know he's not going to do this, but some players collect Spazer and ice early, and then they do charge wave Spazer shots on Fantoon to kill him with a decent 3-round. And I've seen players also do wave ice combos to kill him. And so it definitely has a lot more options for Fantoon. So while Leo's on his way to Fantoon, I guess we can talk about some of the strats that you would see. One of the more common ones you see for any percent old route is the X Factor, which an X Factor is basically a special beam attack that is activated with having charge equipped with wave and holding a charge shot while having power bomb selected, and 4 particles will appear around Samus and connect with her to make an X formation, so that's why it's called an X Factor. And the strategy is to get all 4 of those to collide right on Fantoon and do great amounts of damage to him at once. Also, that was a
Leo.
beautiful red tower.
Yeah, that was a very great red tower from Leo.
The down grab strat is one of the more flashy strats, and it looks really, really nice if you can get it and pull it off.
Leo getting power bombs, which is essential for the Fantoon fight, at least for the optimal strat and the old route at 80%, which is needed to do A, open the doors up to wreck ship, and B, enable the use of the X Factor.
Yeah. It's almost impossible, or it actually is impossible to complete a no major glitch run without collecting missile supers and power bombs. So you'll always see every single run getting them, every single game completion run, at least. So hopefully Leo will get the Ocean Fly here, and you'll see why it's called Ocean Fly in a minute. If he Goop Spark. Shoutouts to Goop Q for sparking upward all the time.
Looks like Leo opted for the missile fly rather than the ocean fly.
Yeah, it didn't look like he was going for Ocean Fly anyway. Basically,
Ooh,
Ocean
a little
Fly.
high.
This is giving him some trouble, which I wouldn't expect. He has a lot of experience with any percent. It's probably just nerves.
Yeah.
So what you would see from Ocean Fly is they would jump towards those missiles in the moat room, and then shoot a super missile, usually a super missile, and spark. And what they're going for is to try and open the door with a super missile, and then spark through it. And it's very precise timing. But if you get it, it looks really nice. You spark all the way across moat and then all the way across the ocean in one nice long spark.
Leo's entering the more RNG heavy boss of the game, Fantoon, which is arguably one of the more dangerous ones of the run as well. So let's hope Leo goes through Fantoon with relative ease. The way Fantoon works is that there are 6 opening patterns, which... Oh wow, he got the fast pattern. And you see the X Factor that he followed up with very well.
His health is actually looking pretty low here, so
Yeah.
hopefully he can finish him off. Oh, Flame Lane.
Oh.
Oh my goodness. And there he goes. Getting pretty low on health there, right towards the end. It doesn't look like he'll be health bombed though, I don't think.
Fairly good fight though. With the fast and then the mid pattern? I didn't catch that.
Yeah, it was fast, mid, fast. So he got quite lucky there with the RNG.
As you see, Ox is getting early ice.
Okay, so yeah, he's heading into ice right now, and something you might see from him hopefully is something called Ice Escape. And what that is it's a really nice knock ball that'll get you back through that room with the gates. It'll get you right through that room, and you won't have to take the slow route above them with via bombs and everything. I actually missed that. Did Leo get health bombed or not?
I missed that as well, actually.
Looks like Ox isn't even going to go for Ice Escape. He's just going to do the charge bomb strat to bomb that block. So basically, if you hold a charge shot and then morph, it basically throws out a flurry of, I think it's 6 bombs that fly out and explode rather quickly. But if you hold down after morphing, they'll actually kind of like fly with a lot of momentum, and that can be really useful in some cases. And there goes Leo with the bowling spark. That was really nice. That's
Nice.
sometimes a really hard shine spark to charge because there's a door transition in the way.
Yeah, the door transition is difficult to charge a spark because the method that the runners use to get a speed booster in that short amount of time is something called short charging, where on specific frames in Samus's running animation, there's a magic frame where the game checks that if you're holding dash, and then I think there's a number of checks, and then if they all pass that you're holding run, then the game enables speed booster. If you only tap dash on those frames, you'll be able to shorten the length of your speed booster, which enables you to do fancy sparks like bowling spark and ocean fly.
One cool thing about that is you can actually do the inverse of that, where you only hold run on the frames that aren't those 4 specific frames, and you can just gain a lot of speed and be really fast but not have the blue, and it looks kind of funny sometimes. It's not useful at all though. So after killing Fantoon, Leo's gonna head down to Meridia to take out Dragon. And Meridia is a really nice area. There's a couple cool shine sparks that you might see, some cool strats for the bosses. So it's a very interesting area, I think. Oh, okay. Apparently that can be used to enter ice without breaking the bomb blocks. Sorry, Fuzda. So I'm just gonna take a minute here to talk about Meridia in general for speedrunning. In my opinion, Meridia is one of the best areas in the game for speedrunning because it's a really confusing area for casual playing, and that's because it's really roundabout and it kind of loops back in on itself multiple times and everything. But that makes it very interesting for speedrunning in terms of routing, because you can have a lot of weird routes that'll take you past items and then they'll like loop you back to the exit, and you can exit really quickly. So it's a really cool area to see people speedrun, and it's very different for each category, which is what I like about it so much. Did Leo's stream freeze for you, or is it just me?
I think it's just you. It's fine for me.
Me. Oh, here we go. It's back for me. Okay.
Well, Leo's entering Batoon right now. Batoon, there is a quick kill strat where you can one cycle Batoon using an X Factor and then 6 supers. Let's hope Leo pulls it off. Oh, he missed 2, I think. Oh no. Having a little trouble with Batoon since he missed the initial first round. Quick kill.
Yeah,
All right.
Baboon can be a bit of a pain sometimes because, as you saw right there in his death animation, he's consists of a lot of different particles, and sometimes those particles can kind of collide with each other and overlap, and sometimes your supers and your shots and everything will get eaten by the parts of his body that don't take damage, and then sometimes like you'll completely miss and it'll still hit his head anyway. So he's a really weird boss to fight sometimes, and it can be quite frustrating to fight him.
Ox
Ox
is
is doing a
opting to
little farming.
better to stay safe than Starry when going into Fantoon.
Yeah. I don't blame him for farming. Fantoon can be
And
quite a
Leo
pain in the
with
butt
the full
sometimes.
happy. Leo with the full happy, which is a very precise trick, and Shine Spark across the Coliseum, I think.
Yeah, Coliseum. So yeah, kudos to him for getting that. It's very difficult.
Yeah. Very precise wall jumps and a down grab at the very top.
Alright, so for the Dragon fight, there are a couple strats that you can see. One is just to shoot her with all your ammo and stuff like you would normally for any boss. And then the other is actually, she's one of the few bosses that can be damaged by Shine Sparks. And so another strat that you'll see Leo's doing right now, he just finished. That was a really nice fight. But basically, she can be damaged by Shine Sparks, so you can kind of chain a couple Shine Sparks together and kind of kill her that way. But it can be kind of difficult sometimes because the Shine Spark does damage to Samus, and so it can be really risky to kind of get hit by her after a Shine Spark, and like also lose health from Shine Sparking. And at the end of the fight, you can take a lot of chain damage from Dragon as well, and just get completely annihilated by her. So it was a really nice job by Leo.
Ox is having a little trouble with Fantoon, not quite getting friendly patterns for him.
Yeah, Fantoon, that's just the way Fantoon is sometimes. He can be really mean sometimes and really nice other times. Did Leo get Womple Jump? I wasn't really looking.
I don't think he did.
Oh, no, he didn't. Okay. Womple Jump is a strat for doing Coliseum backwards. Normally after Dragon, as I mentioned before, you Shine Spark her to death, and Dragon auto force stands you after you kill her, because there's you can grapple to kill her, and so it auto force stands so that you don't get some weird grapple animations after you grapple kill her. And something that does is when you kill her with a Shine Spark, it'll force stand you, and you'll actually have blue suit. And from there, you can Shine Spark across Coliseum going backwards, and you can get something called the reverse full halfy. But if you miss the blue suit, you can use space jump to do something called a Womple jump, and it's a really nice space jump that abuses some water physics in order to give you some like a lot of speed going through that room. So Leo's heading over to Plasma right now. Best beam in the
Ox
game.
just finishing up Fantoon. Very nice. Still alive, which is great.
Yeah, that's the only requirement for Fantoon is to be alive after the fight. Then it's a good fight. Also, I just said that Plasma was the best beam in the game, and I know that Fuz is going to reprimand me for this. Technically, I guess Charge Beam is the best beam in the game.
Alright, Leo's heading, after killing Dragon, he's headed towards Lower Norfair in order to fight Ridley. And then Ox is heading towards Dragon in Meridia. So we'll see some different strats from each person.
So, we mentioned before early ice, and the reason we call it early ice is because you can also get ice later, as you can see Leodox doing right now. And it's actually faster to get ice later, because you don't need to pause to turn it off and back on and such. And the reason he's getting it now, as opposed to when he's exiting Norfair, is because it doesn't really make a difference either way, but this allows him to do 4 less shots during the Ridley fight, because the extra damage because of ice.
We are getting ice escape, no problem.
Alright, so Ox is, he made it past bowling, now he's gonna head over to get Gravity Suit, best suit in the game at least. And, Leo's making his way down to Lower Norfair. Something you might see in a minute here is the Chronic Boost, which is a really nice looking damage boost that sends you all the way down through the lava dive room, right to the bottom of the pit so you can just space jump right up real quick. And looks like he got it, so nice job,
Nice.
Leo.
And headed
Oh,
into
okay,
Lower
apparently-
Norfair.
Apparently blue suit is the best suit in the game, my apologies. So Lower Norfair can be a very dangerous area because a lot of the enemies here start doing great chunks of Samus's health from each hit. Like the yellow pirates that you just saw a minute ago, and the red key hunters specifically do a lot of damage to Samus. Something very interesting that Leo just did there was the blue suit space jump strat for pillars, and I'm assuming he did that to conserve health. He didn't want to spark across that room like a lot of people would do it, and I don't blame him for that.
Yeah, Lower Norfair is very heavy on health depletion. A lot of the enemies do upwards of 20 to 40 damage per hit, which is a few times more than other areas, even with Gravity Suit. As Gravity Suit and Varia decrease the damage that you take from enemies and other damage sources.
Yeah, normally when you're running around with Gravity Suit on, you're taking like 2 to 10 damage from each enemy, and then you head into here and you're taking like 40 to 50, and it's just it's a big shift from some of the other areas. Although Meridia they do a bit of damage as well, but Lower Norfair particularly is very damaging, and there's a lot of acid and stuff. Nice metal pirates from Leo. He messed up the strat that he was going for, but he did a nice recovery. Alright, so now he's heading into Ridley. And the strat for Ridley is just 20 charge shots and to not get hit as much as possible. So what he's going to do is he's going to try to get Ridley to swoop a lot so that he doesn't... sweeping in just in general is a little bit faster than pogoing. So you'd like to have Ridley swoop a lot. Looks like he's giving Leo some bad RNG here. Ox is making his way to bot room right now. Hopefully he can get a nice one round. Alright, that was a really nice Ridley fight from Leo, and he actually decided not to get the Ridley tank. So, hopefully he doesn't die to Mother Brain or anything. Bot Wound is giving Ox some trouble here. Proving once again that he is the second worst boss in the game, aside from Fantoon.
Alright, Ox finishing up Batoon fairly well. Re-equipping Ice to fight Dragon. I assume he's not going to use the X Factor strat.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't equip Ice to fight Bot Moon. I don't see why he wouldn't want that extra damage.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess because he wanted to go for the X Factor. That makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
So, something to note about Ridley that we never mentioned before. When his health gets down to 0, he actually doesn't die immediately like the other bosses do. He actually keeps fighting for a little while. And he actually doesn't die until he grabs you, or... I'm not sure if it's a timer or if it's like a certain number of attacks that he needs to do or what. But after a certain amount of time, he'll kind of just die on his own. But it's obviously faster to let him grab you and then die immediately. So runners really need to keep track of how much damage they do to Ridley so that they can get that grab as soon as possible.
Yeah, and Ox sadly missing the halfie, so he has to go through the Coliseum the slightly more intended way. Still not 100% intended as the developer intended for you to have grapple beam at this point. But with some wall jumps you can get past here fairly easily. And Ox is opting for the missiles in front of Dragon, I assume to help quicken the fight, as he will, I assume, will go out with missiles and charge shots rather than the X Factor and Shine Spark strat.
Okay, so seems that what triggers Ridley to die, other than the grab, so if you just wait for him to die, it's just completely RNG. It's just, apparently it's 0 to 10 swoops somewhere in that area. Any number of swoops between 0 and 10, and he will die. And he can pogo and things like that in between the swoops. But after, so the game will decide however many swoops he has to do, and after that many swoops, he will die. And normal RNG progresses from there. So Leo's heading. He's made his way out of Lower Norfair and out of Norfair entirely, and he's heading over to G4 and into Torian to fight Mother Brain, final boss of the game. And it can be a bit of a dangerous fight because he needs to have 300 or more health after killing her. Otherwise, she'll rainbow beam him to death. And Ox has really low health. I'm worried he might die. Hopefully he can survive. Dragon has really low health, so he should be okay. Oh no.
Oh, that's a real shame for Ox.
Yeah. That's brutal. It was really far into the run too. He's 40 minutes in and he dies. That's awful.
It does show that Super Metroid is a very unforgiving game. It has an insanely high forfeit rate for the weekly races and any races in that. And anything can happen in a run. And sadly, we saw one of the more unfortunate things happen in a run.
Let me check if he forfeited or not. Looks like he hasn't forfeited yet, but he's not really playing anymore, so I'm not sure what he's deciding to do.
Alright, Leo's going into the last stretch of the game. Turian, which has 4 Metroid rooms, then another room, Zebetite, and then Mother Brain, and then the escape. His his ammo count seems pretty good, so he shouldn't have any trouble with drops. Turian's very unforgiving with drops, as bad drops can end some runs, and just the heart of the cards. But they seem to be very nice to Leo right now, so glad to see that.
Alright, so it looks like Ox is going to keep going. So,
nice.
That's a lot of perseverance on his part.
Yeah, definitely.
So it looks like Leo's heading into the Metroid room right now. Hopefully he'll get the skip. He has a lot of practice with this game in general, so I'd be surprised if he missed the skip. But, you know, he has a lot of nerves and stuff in a marathon, so anything could happen.
Yeah, the Metroid skip entails a lot of technical jumps that, until a certain point, used to be considered a TAS-only strat, so that's a testament to how precise the jumps can be.
Very, very beautiful skip from Leo right there.
Very nice.
I think that was under 10 jumps. Wasn't really counting, but it was a low number.
Yeah, definitely under 10.
Nice Zeb skip by Leo. Basically a exploit of frozen enemies. I'm not going to use Wild Anaconda's alliteration there. The frozen enemy, it's frozen 1 pixel away from the wall, and so Samus aligns to the enemy instead of the wall, putting her 1 pixel inside the wall and also the Zebetite, which is considered to be an enemy. And so with invulnerability frames, you can actually jump right through the Zebetite and go right through. And for some reason, the others don't spawn, probably to save some space, not looting so many enemies at once, so they don't spawn until the one before them is killed.
Alright, Mother Brain 2. If Leo goes under 300 health, it's impossible for him to finish the fight. So let's hope he doesn't get hit. Ooh. Okay.
That was a lot of jumping right there from him. I was a little worried for a second.
Yeah.
Really nice fight though. Really, really solid.
Very nice.
So that's basically GG, unless he dies to Mother Brain 3, which I don't see happening, or maybe the escape. But that was a really nice run from Leo.
Definitely.
I don't know how to estimate his final time, but it's going to be a good time. Definitely sub 50, I think.
Oh, definitely.
I've never been very good with estimating cutscene times and stuff. I don't really know how to guess. But yeah, that was a really scary fight. She was doing some really insane combos to him, and he was just dodging them the whole time. It was really, really nice.
As you see, Ox is entering Bomb Teresa. Hopefully he will have another great fight that he did like he did earlier. Not getting great drops, so it looks like he'll have to do a 2-round Bomb Teresa.
Yeah, Bomb Teresa's being a bit of a jerk. Alright, so from this point, the only real thing to watch Leo's run for is to see if he saves the animals or not. I think at this point his run is basically over. We just want to know whether or not he saves the animals.
The only major decision.
Yeah, only big decision from this point onward. Looks like it's going to be like a mid 48 or so from Leo, so that's a really good run.
Definitely.
Missing all the pirates in that room.
Oh, Leo missing the Shine Spark. But going back through the acid, he does get it. Oh, here's the oh, nope. Decided to forego saving the animals. Most likely a better choice.
Alright, so congrats to Leo. His final race time was 48:39. That is a really solid run. Only about a minute off of his PB, so
Definitely
really,
a solid
nice
one.
job. So hopefully we'll be seeing some safety saves from Ox this time. Hopefully he's learned his lesson for not saving.
And a 33 in-game time. The way in-game time is calculated is much different than real time. Oh,
Oh
Fox
my
dying
goodness.
again.
That is a peculiar spot to dive. I don't think I've ever seen anyone die there.
I haven't seen that one. And he does continue.
Looks like he forfeited.
All right. It's a shame.
Yeah, he was actually doing really well up until Dragon, and he kind of got screwed over by her.
It shows that Super Metroid always pulls a new way to ruin a run.
I'm gonna see if I can get Leo or Ox in here. We've actually got another race coming up in about 7 minutes, I think. Let me check. Yeah, commentary by me and TR621.
Yeah, I actually have to do some errands, so I'll have to bail out. But it was my first commentary, so I made it through.
Yeah, good job. It's a really shame though that Ox had died 2 times.
Yeah. Definitely an unforgiving game.
I'll be honest though, that second death was kind of funny.
Oh yeah, it was.
Yo, what's up, Ox?
Hey,
Hey man.
sorry about your luck.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Happens.
Do you have any comments about the Dragon or the new bridge?
Well, the dragon was pretty much well, I failed there to look at my HP. Shouldn't have done that spark there. Instead, should have taken safe strats. Oh, but it was fine. And that bridge was, I don't know. I kinda wanted to hold down run, but kinda got onto jump.
Yeah, I can see kind of like why that kind of thing would happen to you. It's kind of like after you die in a run, you kind of just don't feel like playing anymore. And I get the same way after I restart after death.
Yeah.
I kind of just am tired of the game,
run, but
not really trying or anything. And
I was like
dumb mistakes.
actually restarting it, and was like, okay, this maybe this one, and everything went fine. Like to charge beam, everything went pretty good. Then it was like, oh shit, look at their time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah.
Game was hard.
Leo is also in here. He's muted though. I'm not sure if he's gonna unmute.
What's up?
Hey,
What's
Leo.
up, Leo?
Good
Good
race.
job with the run.
Thank you.
Definitely a solid run.
Thank you. Thought it was crap though. It was so
You think
bad.
all-
You could just
you
see
think all
like mini
runs are
chokes
TV?
everywhere.
I mean, that was a really nice Metroid skip though. I'll give you that much.
Was it like a 10 jump or something? I mean, I was just trying to be safe with it. I didn't want to get grabbed.
Yeah, I could. Do you normally do the take a couple steps back strat, or do you normally
Yeah,
just
I
go
always
right
do
from-
that.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just more consistent when I do it that way.
Yeah, I used
I
to do
feel-
that when I first started.
I mean, I know how to do it the other way. I'm just not as consistent, so I don't really do it
I
that
tend
much.
to. I find the new route strat to be a little bit easier than the take a couple steps back strat for some reason.
Yeah. Just gotta
You,
practice it.
You didn't take any safety saves, did you?
I took one. Right before Mother Brain. The save of no return.
Oh, okay, that was a good move. I was hoping you would do that.
Yeah.
I mean, after you skipped the Ridley tank, I was almost positive you were going to do that, because why lose a run at such a stupid thing?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I always had pretty good health like the entire run, so I didn't really want to get any tank.
Yeah.
I felt pretty comfortable with my health pretty much the entire run. But once
Yeah.
I got to towards Mother Brain, I was like, 69 health to manage. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna save.
Alright, well, good race from Leo and Ox. Get some shoutouts for them in the chat.
I mean, it was fun. Never had a race before.
Yeah, good race.
Definitely.
Alright, guys. Catch you later.
See you, Leo.
Yeah.
Alright, so next up is Duckfist versus Back for Justice, one of my co-commentators. And so, this is going to be quite an interesting race between them. They're both very good players.
Yeah. Good luck to the next winners, and I'll catch you guys later.
Hello.
What's up, TR?
You guys mind if I join you on commentary?
Dingus was asking me if he could join, so I'm not sure if he is or not. If he is, then I think 4 people would be too many. But if he's not gonna, then you can join, I guess. No, it looks like Dingus is gonna join. Sorry, Ox.
It's fine. It's fine.
How's it going, everyone?
What's up, Dingus?
Not much. Pretty tired. We're all good. I'm ready for this. I've followed both of these runners quite closely.
So, see you guys later.
Alright, see ya, Ox.
See ya.
See
Nice
ya, Ox.
race. Sorry about the RNG.
Ah, thanks.
What are the streams for the individual runners? Are they? Is it just Duckfist and Back for Justice?
Yeah.
Same names. Okay.
See
Nice
ya, Ox.
race. Sorry about the RNG.
Ah, thanks.
TR, did you get VL
What are
or
the
did you get live
streams for the
streamer?
individual runners? Are they? Is it just Duckfist and? No, I haven't yet.
Yeah.
Same names.
Oh dang.
Probably gonna do that sometime later this week because I don't think I'm gonna be able to commentate for another couple days.
Okay, so the race channel is up.
I'm gonna hop in there real quick.
Both runners are in it.